Welcome. This is From Zero to One. And today we are diving into the topic of willpower. Definition: the ability to control one's actions, emotions, and urges. A strong determination that allows one to do something difficult. When discussing willpower, people often refer to it as a strong determination to accomplish a task. This common understanding suggests that willpower is a force that is summoned to perform actions we are reluctant to do. However, this narrow view limits our understanding of willpower and hinders our ability to develop it effectively. Willpower is not some mystical force invoked like a Super Saiyan transformation. Such a notion is closer to the concept of motivation, which, while powerful, is transient and unsustainable. Relying solely on motivation can lead to a dependency, much like a drug, where the initial euphoria diminishes over time, leaving one chasing a fleeting high. In contrast, if we consider the primary definition of willpower, the ability to control one's actions, emotions, and urges, we gain a clearer picture of its true nature. This control is an inherent ability that we exercise daily. Routine activities like showering, eating, or walking are all under our command and are driven by willpower. These tasks are so commonplace that we no longer perceive them as requiring effort. As children, these basic tasks demanded more focus, but as adults, they become more automatic, only to require more energy again in old age. Consider this: you are sitting on a couch and you are feeling thirsty. The act of getting up and walking to the kitchen and pouring a glass of homemade lemonade is directed by your willpower. Expanding on this, we can observe different levels of willpower influencing a single action. For instance, let's say you are watching a movie with your friends, and the urge to use the restroom arises, but you resist because the film is approaching its climax. Your desire to not interrupt the movie outweighs your need to go to the restroom. Over time, as the urge grows, you still resist to pause the film due to your self-consciousness and the fear of upsetting your friends. In this scenario, your willpower to avoid being a disturbance combined with your desire to continue watching the movie is stronger than the need to use the restroom. While this example is rather silly, it illustrates several points. Willpower is influenced by both complementary and conflicting factors. Willpower is the decision to act or to refrain from an action. Willpower is influenced by your thoughts and your emotions. And willpower can be used to go against your natural instincts. Understanding willpower in this light allows us to recognize it as a dynamic force shaped by our internal and external experiences, rather than this elusive energy source that is called on in times of need. If you do not have control over your willpower, then it will be controlled by others, whether intentionally or unintentionally, and for good or for bad. So you need to be the designer of the external and internal influences that direct your will. It is essential to recognize that it's not a resource that depletes or replenishes, but rather a constant force that requires direction. Willpower is always present. It is how we steer this force that matters. Consider the scenario where you are binge watching a familiar TV show instead of engaging in a hobby or activity that you expressed interest in. such as working out, reading, dancing, yoga, meditation, learning a language, or playing an instrument. The decision to watch TV over pursuing your hobby indicates that the will to indulge in leisure is currently stronger than your will to engage in personal growth. This is why there is nothing anyone can say or do to make you change. Imagine some stranger comes along and tries to give you a pep talk. They say something along the lines of, "Hey, it's time to get off your ass and follow your dream. What are you waiting for? Don't you see your life is passing you by? You gotta get down in these trenches and pull out that inner you. Face the world head on. Fuck sleep. You can sleep when you're dead." That speech, worded a little better, has motivated many to start to act. But it doesn't hold long term because you haven't addressed the real issue. The better way to address the lack of follow through is to ask yourself, why do I claim to want to do something, yet choose otherwise when the opportunity arises? The answer to this question will often reveal a mix of self-doubt, lack of confidence, fear, and perceived limitations. And though all of these reasons are valid, they are not the root cause. These are all side effects of the absence of a strong reason or a why statement and a practical method to see it through. The common advice that is given is to dig deeper, be stronger, push through the pain, as if this is some type of war that we are fighting. And though it creates a compelling image, none of those words give actionable guidance. Instead, they just create questions like, how deep am I supposed to go? And what am I digging for? Telling someone they need to be stronger is equivalent to telling them that they are weak. And though negative reinforcement techniques can be valuable, it is a tool better suited for those who have already made commitments and sacrifices for their goals. Instead, for those of you who are starting at their zero, the path to harnessing your willpower lies in understanding the purpose behind the change you seek. You must craft a compelling why statement. This statement should be emotionally charged and resonate with conviction. For example, here's a why statement for someone who wants to have a lot of money. I want to be wealthy because I want to live comfortable and live a life that is debt-free. This is a valid reason for wanting wealth, but it is not powerful. It holds zero conviction and it doesn't tap into any emotion or passion. A better why statement would be, I want to be financially stable because the lack of funds constantly places me in a position where I must compromise my principles, leading to a loss of self-respect. The potential to lose my hard-earned possessions fills me with fear and anxiety. I become stressed and I find myself turning to substances that ultimately drain my mental well-being. I have responsibilities that extend to loved ones who depend on me, people I wish to support. If I don't make a change, then my life will be plagued with continuous struggle and disappointment. Notice that this statement digs deep into the emotions. It addresses what you want, why you want it, the pain associated with not having it, and the consequences of not seeing it through. This emotionally charged scenario underscores the importance of a personal and compelling why statement. It should resonate so deeply that choosing temporary distractions over long-term goals becomes increasingly difficult. The guilt that arises from indulging in bad habits serves as a stark reminder of what is at stake. Consider the consequences of acting against your true desires in favor of immediate contentment. This is akin to betraying someone you love, resulting in a loss of trust, affection, and compassion. Succumbing to this betrayal leads to feelings of depression, coldness, and resentment. These are the underlying emotions that accumulate each time you ignore your inner passion. Conversely, when you affirmatively choose your desired path, you cultivate trust, love, and compassion within yourself. Even in failure, these positive emotions are still nurtured. Eventually, you gain mastery over your willpower, directing your life with intention rather than being swayed by external circumstances. To the outside world, such a person appears to possess immense willpower, yet the truth is their willpower is no different from anyone else's. They've simply learned to guide it purposefully. When asked about the secret to their strength, they can honestly say, "My willpower is no stronger than yours. I've just learned to steer it intentionally rather than let it drift aimlessly in the wind." Thank you for listening. This is From Zero to One. At the end of each episode, I like to play an instrumental for your listening pleasure. If you enjoyed this, please engage with the video as it helps support putting out positive content. You can also visit our website at oxygen.com. That's AHXYGEN.com. Links will be in the description. Until next time.